All right. Welcome back to my channel. I want to, in a very special way, welcome you all to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, please, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. Okay, very quick one. Today is our class 8, the 8th edition of our CorelDraw graphics class. And then we'll continue where we stopped. Of course, the last class we talked about rectangle and circle. Of course, how to get a perfect rectangle and how to get a perfect circle. Of course, turning the circle to either a pile or turning it to an arc. So we all did all this, and today we'll continue with the polygon tool. Of course, we all know what Polygon Tool is all about. Is where this tool, once you explore it, you see other functions that it has. Now, the first one we have is the polygon. We have the star, we have the spiral, we have the common shapes, we have the impact tool, and we have the graph paper. So we'll be taking this one after another. Let's start with that of polygon. Of course, the shortcut, when you strike your keyboard Y, it picks the polygon. So once we click on the polygon, of course, this class will interest us very well because we will get to learn more things, more new things on this CorelDraw graphic class that we're having. So I want us to just be attentive as we continue. So the first one we have is the polygon tool. So let's see what we have for polygon tool. Once I draw, of course, if you want to have a perfect tool, a perfect polygon tool, you always hold control. Anything that has to do with shape, if you want to get the perfect shape of that particular shape you picked, always hold control and you have it. Now, once I draw it, you agree with me that the property bar changes to what we just picked, which is the polygon tool. Now, straight, let's go to where we have the points or sides of the polygon tool. When you count, you discover that we have 7 points. You are seeing it showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, what it implies here is that you can as well increase the point, or you can as well reduce the point. You can even reduce it down to triangle, okay? And you can increase it, okay? So that is one good thing about this. And if you look around, apart from the 8 nodes that is holding this shape, of course, we know what node is. If you look around, you'll be seeing a tiny white box again. Okay, you'll be looking, you will see a tiny white box around this shape you just draw. And now this brings us to explaining what the node and anchor point is all about. We have nodes, we have anchor points. Okay, now let me explain this very well. Of course, the nodes are the 8 black box that comes with either a shape or a text. Okay, but the anchor points are the white box that rounds either a shape or a text. Now, on the course of our class, we will come to know more about the nodes and the anchor points, which I'll be explaining to us as time goes on. Of course, the black 8 box rounding either a shape or a text is called nodes, right? While the white one you see, okay, is called an anchor point. I will explain this while we are advancing in our class. Now, the interesting part of this is that any shape you pick, all right, be it rectangle, be it a circle, or any shape at all you pick, once you pick this shape tool has a powerful use in anything that has to do with either shape or a text, because as we advance in our class, you come to agree with me that this shape tool you are seeing is exactly what we'll be using to formulate a logo, to trace a logo, just name it. Okay, so this shape tool has a powerful function in this toolbox, as the case may be. Just the way toolbox is one of the most important active bar in CorelDraw. So that is how shape is one of the most important tools that we have in this toolbox. Now you come to see what this shape can give us. So once I pick the shape, you discover that the black anchor point, the black nodes has disappeared. You discover that the black nodes has disappeared. Now once you pick the shape tool, the black nodes will disappear, and what you will be left with is that of anchor points. Now watch the magic that will perform. Any of these anchor points I hold, now, be it this, any one at all I hold, and just, of course, anything you want to do, if you want it to have a perfect shape, always hold control. Any of it I hold, you discover that they are all going at the same time. I'll just drag it a little. Okay, now if I return this my pick tool here, now I can increase this. Now this is turning to something that we all know. Who can tell me what this is all about? Do you remember the seal you normally see in certificates? Of course, it is using this polygon tool and the toolbox and the shape tool that you get to achieve this very seal. They call it seal, right? You know seal. Of course, you know this seal that we use for certificates. This is it. Okay, so it's through this polygon shape that we get to achieve it. And of course, from this you can as well get a star. Okay, once you pick your shape tool and hold down your control key, okay, now you see that this is actually turning to star, but then the angles are much. What I need to do is to reduce it. Okay, now we having something like star here. You see it, and of course we can use this as design. Apart from design, we can use it as what, background, as the case may be. Okay, so this polygon tool has a lot of things that we can achieve with. Okay, now the next one we have is that of star. Of course, this star will give us direct star. I'm holding down my control key now. The star is giving us direct star, and of course you can increase the points, all right, and you can reduce the point just the way we have it in that of polygon, and you can turn your star to complex star. Once I draw it, you discover that there is difference between this ordinary star and the complex star. Okay, now the complex star, of course, this one has 5 points. Let's turn this to 5 points. You see the difference now. Okay, so look at the difference. The difference now is that this one, now the fill, there is no space in it. Everything is filled with yellow, but this complex star, now the fill has empty center. Okay, so you come to discover that you can have a normal star and you can as well have a complex star. All right, so that is it, and you can still increase it to 32 if you must achieve. If you don't want to use the polygon tool, if you want to use the star, you can still achieve that seal. Okay, so I keep increasing it to 32. What I need to do is to pick my shape tool and hold any of this, right, and extend it, then turn it back to red, and you see it, we have achieved what we want. Okay, so that is all about star. The next one we have is the spiral. Okay, of course, in this spiral we have the spiral revolution. Of course, you can one thing about this spiral is, before you can draw, you can either get the number of revolutions you want. If you want to reduce it, you reduce before drawing. Okay, and if you want to increase it, you increase, of course, before drawing. You see difference between this and this, that this one is more than this. Okay, because this was 20 something, and why this is 38. Of course, you can increase the thickness of the line, and like that. So, and it interests you that these things you are seeing us doing, we can as well use it to formulate a background. Okay, we can as well use them to formulate a background, and because I can give this yellow and equally give this yellow, but the yellow will not be as yellow, then I can place it inside this container. You see it as a background. So same thing happens to the polygon or the star. I can just draw a perfect star or turn it back to normal star instead of the complex star, and give it a yellow like this. I'll place it inside the container, and I can decide to scatter it, right? Just scatter it round, scatter it round, scatter it round, scatter it round. I see it becoming a background, a unique background for us, right? And we are all doing this class for us to know the how to make use of the toolbox, so as to know when to use them once we start our design. Okay, so as you can see this now, we are having background. Okay, so that is all about the spiral. The common one, the next one we have now is the common shapes. Of course, the common shapes, these are where we can get different types of shape. They say choose the shape that you want to draw. These are common shapes. Of course, it's not just common shape. There is S, means there is more. There is more shape once we click on this black arrow. Okay, these are different types of shape. Different types of shape. We can just play around with it. We have that of cross. Now, to see the power of this tool, this shape tool, once we click on shape tool, every other thing disappears, and if you press down your left click, pressing this red dot you're seeing, watch what is happening. Of course, you can use it to adjust. So same thing applies to every other shapes that you're seeing here. If you want that of heart, if you want that of heart, of course you pick that of heart, and you draw, right? You draw. So we have this heart. Okay, all right. So these are different types of shapes. Different types of shapes you can find here, and be it arrow, be it smile, there are plenty of it here. Okay, there are plenty of it, and once you pick your shape tool, you can as well adjust, right? If you want this if you want this to be smiling, of course make it smile. If you want it to be as if it's crying, of course it's there. So that is the power of this shape too, right? Still on this now, we have so many other shapes. Okay, and it will interest you that we can actually use this to formulate so many things. Okay, now you have a cartoon and you want this to be talking, you can as well pick this your colored shape. Just draw it, don't mind. You can pick your shape to hold down this red and place it where the mouth is, and to be as if this man is actually saying something. This cartoon is actually, so you can come in here and type anything you wish to type. Of course, it will look like a comic design. Okay, so still on this, we can as well, from these common shapes, we can as well get a school badge. So many things we can achieve here under these flow chart shapes. Let's see what we have here. I can just draw something like this. Of course, we turn it and maybe turn it to 270 because of course, turn it to 270, right? I can increase it a little. Okay, now pick my shape and draw on top here. Then still go back to my shape, common shapes, right? Then go back there, and under the banner shapes, I can just pick any of the colors we have. Okay, and you agree with me that we are having something interesting here. I can as well give this color and give this color. Okay, so here you can place, here you can just write the name of the school, Hope School, right? You can just do something like this. Okay, of course this is where we have the motto, um education is key. Okay, so of course we have something like this, and maybe here can be where we have our symbol. Okay, um never mind, I'm just doing something here. Of course, we still come to all this as time goes on. Okay, so let's assume I have something like this, and I will look for something that has to do with education. Okay, now this is book. I can decide to insert this, and we're having something interesting. Okay, so of course, once you watch this, you discover that it's turning to something that has to do with badge. Is having a look of badge, school badge. Okay, and one interesting part of this is that if you wish to adjust this, right? Of course, once you click, you discover that we are having red dot and this yellow dot here. Once you pick your shape tool back, this red focus on this. Okay, you can expand, you can reduce, you can expand, you can reduce, right? Why the yellow focus on this. Okay, that is one interesting aspect of this. All right, and after which we can now adjust the way we want. Okay, we can adjust the way we want. So many other things we can still achieve. Heart, we can still achieve arrow, we can so many things we can achieve here. There are just plenty of it. Okay, of course, we have this thing like light, power, anything that has to do with power. Okay, okay, is what we have here, right? So that is it about the common shapes. So the next one we have is the impact tool. Now let's see what we have in impact tool. In impact tool, we have that of parallel and we have that of radii. So let's see what we have in this parallel. Once I click and drag, we have something like this. And this you are saying, we can still use it to formulate a background. I always make reference to that. We can still use it to formulate a background. You can see it as tiny as anything. You can increase, of course, you can change the styles. Okay, you can change the style, and even at this, once you convert the parallel to radii, you discover that it will change to something like this, and I can decide to place it inside my rectangle. Okay, and you see it as a what, as a design. Okay, so that is it about the impact tool. And the last we have here is the graph paper. Of course, once you pick the graph paper, you look at the property bar. We are having columns and row. We have 10 and 5. Let's draw and see what we have. Of course, the columns is what we have here, 10. When you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that is the columns. Okay, while the row is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The idea here now is you can still just after drawing it, return to your pick tool, and you can decide to ungroup. Okay, and you can decide to now begin to change the colors one after another. Okay, you start changing the color one after another, right? So that is the idea. And one thing about this graph paper is before you draw, you can as well put down the number of columns and rows you want. Okay, then before drawing, and once you draw, it appears. And you can ungroup and change different colors. I think that is just all. I still want to welcome those viewing my channel for the first time. Please, I would like you to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And in summary, of course, we know what this polygon is all about now. We can through this very polygon and have a seal, the one we use for certificates. Of course, you can just go to your property bar and type in the 32 point side and pick your shape tool and hold down Control key. Okay, just drag it a little and here you have it, right? So you can still use a normal star. Okay, you can still use a normal star to achieve this, right? Just type in 32 inside, pick your shape tool and hold Control, then reduce it a little, and you have it. Okay, so the same thing for this spiral. We've done spiral, give it the number you want. If you want 20, just type in 20 there and press enter using your keyboard, then drag it, it appears. Alright, and the next we have is the common shapes, where we can achieve so many things, so many shapes we want, we can achieve it, and we can as well work with them using the shape tool. Okay, and the next we have is the impact tool. Of course, we've done this impact tool, the parallel and the radial. Okay, and even though you draw it using this radial, you can as well change it to parallel and you see it. Okay, and you can as well color it the way you want, and it appears the color you give. Then the last but not the least we have is the graph paper. Okay, the graph paper is just giving you a box, but then you need to put the columns and the row you want, and before you know, it appears. So I believe we've been able to know the functions of polygon, star, spiral, common shapes, impact tool, and that of graph paper. Please, I will still want to advise that we should follow this toolbox class one after another, so as we will be carried along once we commence the design proper. Please don't be in a rush, don't be in a hurry. We'll be doing a whole lot as the case may be. Just get to know about this toolbox, because they are the most important thing that makes up the graphics. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your active participation in this my YouTube channel. I will still want you to please share it to friends, share it to loved ones, because I know in one way or the other they may still benefit from it. I want to wish you a lovely day ahead. Thank you.